So we have always had that big island, small island boy, and so on. So that we've always been throwing out our dirty livings in public. So what is the hypocrisy about that particular criticism of you?
I just think it's really simple. Is that certain people want to be able to do things behind the scenes because they're not proud of what they're doing and they don't want people to know it. And that's the kinds of things that people want you to keep private. So when, for example, people, use their own personal influence to get access to power, right? They say, "Oh yeah, but we do this over here behind closed doors, and you don't talk about it." But I think the other thing that also assumes is that whatever stuff is happening in our communities behind the scenes is to my benefit. So when a black person says something, I just got to take it and I have to agree with it because really they're representing me. And so
Well, who's that? Like some kind of black everyman? What kind of bullshit is that? There's
but
some black everyman, every woman?
I just read it.
Is that some ebony jet kind of bullshit?
But of course, but this is going about all the way back to like Du Bois's Talented Tenth, isn't it?
Oh, you're talented. Oh, yeah. Them Atlantans.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's where this all. I mean, we can trace it back.
Explain the talented intent for those who might not be hip to it. Brother.
That's W.B. Du Bois telling us over a century ago that the Negro needs to cultivate this leadership core. Take the most talented, bright, intellectual leader men in the society.
The 10%.
The 10% who are
the best of the best.
The supposed cream of the crop.
Yes.
And that those people have the responsibility to lift up the lot of the rest of us. And I guess that, you just kind of self-appoint into this talented tenth. You have the right connections, you have the right people, you go to school in the right places, you know the folks who you're supposed to be connected to, and you have privilege within your group, and then that makes you allowed to speak on behalf of everybody else. That makes you the spokesperson, that makes you the person that goes out, and everybody should be grateful for you going out and representing us, so much so that we should never criticize you.
Indeed,
right?
indeed.
And I just think like
he's sacrosanct.
Yeah, but I don't believe in that. I'll never believe in that.
But tell me though that, especially with W.E. Du Bois, right, is that he did that stellar book on Reconstruction. He's a national hero in Ghana. You go there, they revere him, right? He ended up dying there, I believe, right? And that he opposed the war, First World War One, and when they were starting the NAACP, he was right in there too, and so on, right? So here's a guy who is an accomplished academic, a political person, somebody who has done all of that. Mind you, then, he has now this talented tenth thing. How do you assess then, based on, of course, your disagreement with him and the talented tenth, how do you assess, just for the purpose of just for folks hearing how diverse we can be, what is your overall assessment of W.E.B. Du Bois in this case?
I haven't read enough Du Bois to really be able to say fully, like, here's what I think of his politics, here's what I think of his work. He obviously had a tremendous influence on black intellectual life during his time, but he warred openly with people in his generation that he disagreed with as well. He went up against the Booker T. Washingtons and
Marcus Garvey's of his
day, and they vigorously debated and disagreed with each other. And by the way, some of it was really nasty and personal.
Of course.
And unnecessary.
Hey, if you're arguing, Desmond, I believe you got to get personal and nasty. Well, within a certain limit. But actually, no. You know what? No, I don't believe you should.
I don't believe it either. I don't believe it either. But I think that
I back off on that.
But there is room for like
rigorous debate
and disagreement publicly.
Absolutely. Right? And vociferous argumentation.
Yeah, I think the problem is that there's this assumption that there is a we who need to protect each other and be quiet for one another.
What the fuck for, bro?
Well, I don't know because I can't actually get ahead in all the silence. I can't learn and think and challenge myself and other people when the mantra is to keep our mouths shut. But again, the same people who say don't feud openly in the black community will cheer when there's a 2-page spread in the newspaper about somebody that they don't like who's in the black community. So it's kind of very, like I said, it's very interesting.
Yes, exactly.
How some people are not allowed to be criticized because it's bad for community, but then other people who are also part of that community, presumably, are allowed to face extreme criticism and scrutiny in public. And by the way, I don't mind.
You don't mind all the criticism you've gotten. You don't mind that people are on your case all the time. That you know that there's actually X amount of people who are just jonesing to just see you slide on a banana peel.
Well, that's life. I wouldn't say I must be doing something right, EGLINTON JERK, if there are so many people that concerned about me and what I say and what I think to the extent that they're like, you should stop talking. I must be saying something that's worthwhile. Because otherwise people wouldn't waste their time.
What was it about you that you